Awesome. Hello, everybody. We're up to our Tuesday Diamonds to SC call. I'm not sure what the date is. I think it's around towards the end of November 27th, I want to say. Yeah, got it. So we're obviously wrapping up for end of the month, but I don't want to worry too much about end of the month right now. I want to set you guys up for the most productive end of year, because can you freaking believe that it is almost Christmas time? So I know a lot of people at this time of the year start to check out. They start to get busy. They start to think, especially if you're even talking to potentials. How many of you guys have already got that, I'll do it next year? It's ridiculous. It's like, fuck, that's still 8 weeks away or whatever it is. Settle down. Do it now. So I think it's really important to make sure that we're not in that category, because our business is going to run, and the harder that we move it is the better the results are going to be for the new year. Now, I have found that January is always my biggest year, to the point where some months it even doubles. So if you guys are really keen to hit that momentum, you've got to set the groundwork now. So what I want to do is work in this Diamonds to SC a lot about what is success and what intention are you setting. Okay, so 2 different things, but if you do them correctly, you'll end up on the right path, the same path. All right, so if I could just ask you guys at the moment, what does success mean to you? If I was to say you create success in this business, just pop up in the comments box for me or on your journal if you don't want to share. What does success look like for you? Now, while you think about that, I'm just going to talk, because I'm politely aware that this is going to be watched on the recording as well. But I want you guys to remember that success is going to look different for every single person. And the more specific that you can get about what success looks like for you, the quicker you can set the intention of how to receive it. So I love that. So Ashley's put giving my family more. Laura's got financial stability. I love these answers. Keep them coming. Yeah. So what does success in this business look like to you? When my inner version matches my reality. Fuck, that's good, Joe. That's good. That gets 10 points. Success means being able to say yes to yourself. I love that. No money worries. Perfect. These are good, guys. Keep them coming. Doing what I love without saying I can't. Now, if you guys have written this down and you have a notepad in front of you, I want you to put pen to paper, and the sentence is going to be success looks like for me, and you're going to finish that sentence off. The reason I say this is because writing is like a magical method to be able to receive that from the universe. 3 Club, earn $1,500 a month so I can leave my other jobs. I love that, Stace. Pauline is doing what I love without saying I can't. Great. Great. I'm loving these. I'm loving them. All right. Now, while you're on this roll, now this is going to be more impactful for some more than others. But I want you to write down underneath what you just wrote, success is not fitting in. Now, if you guys really think about what that means, success is not fitting in. If you're committed to that first line that you wrote, you're going to have to realize that to get that success, you are not going to fit in to the normal. Okay, the normal is the 9 to 5 grind. The normal is the struggling. The normal is the week to week. If you guys want to be successful, make a commitment right now that you're not going to let other people's opinions fuck with you. Okay, because you're not going to fit in. If that's what you want, and if that's what you want to achieve for your life, you are always going to have somebody who will differ, who will say you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, that's not you. They will say all these different sorts of things because you're growing, you're fitting outside of the box now. And that's when you know you're in a very good step. Okay, because we go back to the thing, success is not fitting in. Yeah? So please don't let anything else kind of mess with you when you're on that track. because there's a very good chance that you're probably going to be a little bit different from the normal. Now, I love what we've got here, but if I be totally honest, Stacey is probably the only one who is specific enough to set the intention to achieve something. Okay, and I'll say that again because I absolutely love what you guys have got and I understand what you mean. But she's the only person who has got so specific that she's set an intention that she can achieve. Now, if I was to say my original coming into this, success meant being able to drop my girls off to school and pick them up. That was success for me because it meant I wouldn't be rushing around doing other things or, having to work longer hours and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is that wasn't really what success was for me. That was a perk. Success for me was being able to earn $1,000 a week so that I didn't have to have another job. And I had to get really clear on, what kind of figure allows me to have my success, so to speak. All right, so I want you to think right now. You don't have to if you don't want to, but for those of you who wrote sentences that describe certain things, describe your success, I want you to get more specific about what you would need to achieve to have no money issues, to have financial stability. What would you need to have coming in every month? Because Ashley, I love yours and I can guarantee that pretty much every single mother on here is going to be able to relate. So Ashley's got giving my family more. Okay. Now the universe could see that as cool. Well, I'm going to give Ashley $40 next month and that will give her family more than what she didn't have. Do you kind of understand the difference there? So setting your intention around what success looks like is really, really, really important because otherwise, like I've used the analogy before, it's like we get in a boat and we just let the waves smash us around and we end up wherever the hell the waves take us rather than getting in, setting a good captain in front and putting coordinates in so that we know where we're going to go. So for those of you who, let's kind of go down here, $1,000 per week to replace my income plus a pay rise, $1,000 a month, a week, great, I love it. Feels way more empowering when you set something with more intention. It does, it really does. And do you know why, as humans, we tend to, I guess, I don't even want to say play small, but it's playing small because we've been told from a small child that stuff starts to become impossible. You can't do that. Not today. You can't do that. We can't do that. And it starts to become so often that when we think about being successful or what's going to make us happy, we round it off so generally because we truly don't believe that we can have it. So the more certain, the more specific, the more dedicated, everything like that we get around a figure. And God goes, I've done this exercise with most of you before, but I'm just going to play around for some of you who may not have. If you have dirty money stories, you have to let them go. You can't do shit in this world without money. You can't do it. Okay, so if you're attaching money to something negative, so people with money are greedy, they're selfish, money is bad, all this kind of stuff. Again, we're talking about setting the intention. If you're setting that intention of wanting to be successful, but you have these underlying issues around money, it's not coming to you. Okay, fall in love with money. Fall in love with the choices that it gives you because when there's a lot of it and abundant energy of money, that's when a lot of fun shit can happen. Okay, so at the moment, if I could see, now this is going to differ so much, so you don't have to be out loud and proud about this if you don't want to, but by all means, you're in a safe place. I would love to see some figures for those who are brave. But what would you rate your relationship with money right now? Number 10, if you're a 10 out of a 10 with money, you love it. It's abundant. Money flows. Money is choices. Money is freedom, and it's coming to me. I know it, 100% certainty. If it's a 1, it's more down to like, holy fuck, I don't want to check my bank account. Yeah, and God, I've been pretty much every single level of the radar, so there's no judgment coming from me whatsoever, but it's really important to know where you sit right now. Cool. Wonderful. Thanks for the honesty, guys. This is great to see. So pretty much we're on the lower scale to the mid-range, if we're lucky to get to the mid. And that's totally normal, totally normal. But unfortunately, if you have a look at that figure and you see where you're at financially, they're co-aligned. So what we need to do right now is flip your perspective. And this upsets some people. So please know that when I say this, I do not judge. I do not think you guys, are not capable of hearing it. But I think that the only way that you can move through a situation is to understand that you caused it, because it means that you have the power to get out. If you're always blaming other people for your situation that you're in, you're always going to be the victim, and you're never going to be able to take that step and go, well, fuck, I'm over it. I'm changing. Okay, you're always going to be waiting for somebody to come and get you. So what I want to say to you guys is, it's not the situation that came first, it's the energy. So there's a very good lineage that you were made to believe this indicator about money through your childhood into your early adulthood. Whether it's work hard for your money, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford to do that, all this kind of stuff. It has come because of conditioning time after time again. If anybody had parents that were really big and really frugal, there's a very good chance that you have a very scarcity mindset, that you don't believe that money is available all the time, which is bullshit. Can I just say, we are the most abundant creatures in the world. We can create anything that we want. Unfortunately, most of us create blocks instead of accessing the abundance. So what we do is we say to ourselves, I can't have that. I'm too poor for that. I can't do those things. And we create the limits right there. And now that's really hard to say when you look in your bank account and there's minus $40. I get that. But the energy, the thoughts come before the situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what you need to do now is you need to move, using that analogy of the energy comes before the situation, you need to move your energy up a level into the I am so abundant. Money is coming to me. I am swimming in money. That is the energy that you need to move up. Energy gives me choices. Energy takes my family places. Money makes life easy. Money means I can contribute more. Money means I can give back. These are the situations that you need to kind of get inside your head and start to change around the perspective. Because I can guarantee that when that energy shifts, when those ideas around money start to change, the situation will change. Unfortunately, so many of us wait to get rich before we think money's okay. And that will never happen because, like I said, the energy comes before the situation. So if you can change the energy first, then you can change any situation. So one of my favorite things to do, and I've talked to you guys about this a few times, is subconscious meditations. Now, for those of you who are just kind of delving into the, I guess, what do we call it, personal development kind of realm, this may all be new to you, and that's totally okay. But what happens is we are one big entire ball of energy. Now, there's a part of us that we can access on the daily, and that's our mind. That's our conscious mind. Okay, so it's what restores our memories. It's what tells us what to do. It's what reminds us. It's also what keeps us safe, keeps us in survival mode, which is a great thing. But it's also what limits us as well, because it's the one that's always creating those blocks. It's the one that's holding the memories of your mum saying money doesn't grow on trees. You can't have that. It's too expensive. Your dad saying, I don't work a second job for you to do that. All this kind of stuff that stops and grows in your mind in survival mode, and it keeps you there in the conscious. Okay, but what is really cool about us as humans is that's not all that we are. We actually have a whole realm that is so much bigger than our conscious mind called our subconscious. Now, this is where we are so powerful and where we can do our highest manifesting from. So what is one of the most easy ways? Go to sleep to a subconscious meditation around money. Now, you can type in into YouTube and say, while you sleep, money. And I can guarantee there'll be a list of things that will help you remove blocks in your conscious and subconscious mind while you're sleeping. It sounds ridiculous, but it's the same kind of method that is, through NLP, through hypnosis, through all sorts of different change, because a lot of powerful people understand that the subconscious mind is where all of our blocks are held, and we can't access them. Now, this is why I love Tony Robbins so much, because his UPW event that he does goes through your subconscious. He actually puts you in a state where you can access levels that you never even thought you could think of. And so much stuff came up for me which was blocking me, and I had no idea. But if you guys do little tiny steps of this, like the meditations, like when you start to catch yourself thinking, oh, I can't do that, or, oh my God, it's another bill, I fucking hate money, I don't want to look at my account, all those types of things that are very low vibration in that negative area, just try and snap out of it. And the quickest that you can snap back and just think, it's okay, money's coming to me. I know. Yeah. And another one of my favorite things, sounds so creepy, so don't judge me, but another one of my favorite things that I used to do as I was going to sleep, because visualization is very powerful, and that's basically what your subconscious is going to be doing while you're asleep. But we can also do our conscious mind visualizing. And for those of you who have done meditation and yoga and things like that, you'll understand. You bring forward into the front of your mind exactly what you want. But when you think of it, you think of it like it's already happening and you're living in it. So one of my favorite things to do when I used to be broke as fuck was go to sleep and imagine myself swimming in money. Just swimming in it. Like I could actually feel it going past my body, and I could get up and I could hug it, and then I could imagine all of the things that I could do with this money, the people that I could help, the opportunities that I could do with my kids and my family. And it really did become almost like a safety net. Whenever I was feeling really depressed, whenever I was thinking, I don't want to check the mailbox because it's going to be more bills, or something would come in, and, let's just say Rego came in and I literally had $10 in my bank account. Normally I would stress the hell out. Yeah, because, what's going to happen with that? How does that logistically change? But I realized that after time doing this, crazy shit would happen. I would get a check in the mail for a bank that said, I'm sorry, we overcharged you fees and we're refunding you $30. Whatever it was, little things like that, money would start to turn up. And the coolest part about this is an exercise that you guys can do. If you haven't read or watched The Secret, go and do it. Put it on your to-do list ASAP, because they actually talk you through a few exercises that you can do to start to do that. Now, if you do for 7 days, can we all just do this for fun, for shits and giggles? For the next 7 days when you go to sleep, I want you to first of all visualize something that means a lot to you and something that's very powerful around money. So whether it be you sitting on the deck in the brand new house that you've just built that has all the bells and whistles that you've ever wanted, and you know that you can maintain it peacefully. You're not in debt. You don't have to pay the bank and feel like you're scrounging every single week. You know that you can afford it. And you own that feeling, you feel it, you feel that peace. Whether it be you swimming in money like I was, whether it be you sitting on an island that you bloody own and your kids are going crazy. I don't care. Whatever your wildest dreams are, take them up a notch. And then imagine that feeling every night before you go to bed. And here's the kicker. You can't imagine it and then have your conscious mind going, yeah, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, whatever. You can't do that because that's contradicting the vibration and you're not setting the right intention. But if we can do that for 7 days, so next Tuesday night that we jump on and have a chat about this, let's see what happens. If you want to play extra hard, find a subconscious meditation, and if your hubby doesn't think you're too much of a freak, find a subconscious meditation and play it in the background as you go to sleep every night. Only has to be for the first hour, 2 hours. Some of them go for 10 hours if you've got enough charge and data. God, that's way better than 60 minutes. But whatever you can literally do, I would really like to see who can manifest some cool shit. Who gets something that's pretty cool. Do you think we can do it? Is anybody down to play? Me too. Me too. Because I feel like that is probably going to take those 2s and 4s and 5s up closer to at least a 6 and a 7. Now, that doesn't seem like much, But if you look at your bank account now and you can imagine maybe just doubling that, how cool would that be? That's basically what we're doing in these 7 days. It's an exercise to try and double shit. We've got a shitty belief about money right now. We're going to try and double it so that eventually, 5 years' time, we're all going to be up to the tens because we're living that life that we're going to sleep talking about to ourselves right now. Okay, now, cool. So that's what success means to you guys. We're getting very specific on what it looks like. So if we're looking really specific right now, oh, I love this. We've got lots of people playing at home. Cool, I love that, Ashley. That's great. Fantastic. This is so cool. Okay, so what was I thinking before I got sidetracked? So that's our success. So if we basically think that that dollar figure is coming into our bank, so we had some $1,000 a week, we had some $1,500 a month, set yourself a timeline for that. And I'm not in control of that. I can't tell you if it's 4 months from now, 4 weeks from now, or 4 years from now. What is a timeline? When's this achieving by? Set your intention and make it really clear. Stacey saying, can you let me in? She's locked out. Is Stacey on? Cool. So if we've got that first intention is set, now I want you to do, so that's a safe goal, okay? That's a safe goal. Yeah. Now I want you to think about realistically, what kind of action do you need to do it? Now, when I say realistically, does anybody think, ugh? Like, obviously, it's going to be a little bit of a push, and anything is realistic if you want it to be. Okay, but I want you to be realistic in the efforts like Ashley. So you've just put, you want to hit 3 club till January. Okay, so basically that means, babe, that you have to create 4 SDVFs next month. Yeah, so that's a big ask for yourself. But I know that out of anybody, you can achieve that if you want it. It does mean that whatever you're doing right now, you'd have to quadruple it. You'd have to really go to work. You'd have to find so many people to talk to, and you would have to really up your connection with them when they sign up to make sure that they get it done. Okay, so if you're setting your goal and your intention, what action do you need to do in order to make that happen? Do you need to speak to your upline every day? Do you need to put a message in the chat and say, oh my God, my goals are scary as shit. I need somebody to contact me every day and make sure I'm doing the work. Okay, what kind of stuff and responsibility can you take right now and commit to doing so that you know you're going to get closer to these crazy goals? Stacey, you on now? Shoot. SC by December. I love this. Triple my DMO. I love it. Cool. Awesome. Now, when you do these, guys, I might do that a little bit later. I'll get into that in a second. Sorry, I'll write it down here so I don't forget. Okay, it's very important to remember to take ownership of your business when this happens. No, I'm going to do it now. Fuck it. We're going to do it now. Sorry, guys. You know me. This is why you're all part of my team, because you vibe attracts, you tribe. But we're going with the flow. So, here we are. There's an exercise that I like to call blame, shame, and justify. And it really set my mindset on fire when I started this, because it was something that I had just become so used to doing that I didn't even realize I was doing it. It was crazy. And Celine taught me this one. And needless to say, I've never given her excuse since. But basically, she drew a whiteboard like this. And she said to me, you need to decide if you want to be on this side of the line or whether you want to play on this side of the line. Now, your goals, the life that you want to create, is always going to be on the higher end. It's always going to be more sacrifice. It's always going to be more action, more of the uncomfortable stuff. But remember, success is not fitting in. So you have to make that commitment to yourself. It's going to be the getting up. It's probably going to be doing your DMO in 5 minutes when you're doing a toilet break at work. It's probably going to be getting on an event when you've had a shit day and all you want to do is turn on your binge-worthy Netflix. Okay, it's making those choices to play above the line. But she said underneath the line, you will really quickly know if you're playing underneath the line by using this method. Blame, shame, and justify. Can you see those? Yeah, so if you find yourself telling yourself a story around any of these three, you've slipped underneath the line and you're no longer playing above the line to reach the goals that you want. You cannot achieve your success, your intention, if you're feeling any of these three. Now, blame's really easy. If I had a different upline, I'd be successful. If I had a supportive partner, I'd be successful. If I wasn't so broke, I'd be successful. You know, if I was so pretty and, you know, like those Instagram models, I'd be successful. If you're blaming your lack of success on something external, you're playing below the line. The only blame that you can use is, yeah, I played shit today. Tomorrow I'm going to play better. Okay? I blame myself today that I didn't play well. Tomorrow I'm going to choose better. But be very, very careful that that blame doesn't lead to shame. Okay? Because then we fall into the lower category of below the line, which is shame. I'm so terrible at this. I knew I can't keep to a schedule. I know that I can't talk to potentials. Who am I to think that I can create friends? I'm not that type of person. I'm not great at that. And you find yourself constantly putting yourself down because you'd rather shame yourself and play below the line than come and attack your goals. Cool? So that's step 2 of playing below the line. Step 3 is justifying. Now, if we do this often enough, justifying comes second nature. It's okay. I'm happy here. It's all right. I don't really mind. I've got a really good life. Yeah? It's okay. I'm so lucky. I'm so much luckier than other people. And you justify why it's okay to be underneath the line because you're so damn used to hearing these two all the time inside your own mind. Okay, so I find that when I was doing that, it was so easy for me to go, oh no, you've slipped. You're underneath the line. You're no longer playing big. Time to mindset change. Yeah, and I'd have to muck around and go, okay, how do I get back above the line? And that's probably the quickest way that you can move out. Because what's even worse is recognizing that you're playing underneath the line and then continuing to shame yourself for it. Okay, so continuing to be like, oh, I know, I'm so shit. I can't do anything. I've never been able to stick to anything in my life. This is terrible. I'm so bad. Why do all the other people do it and I can't do it? I mustn't be made for this. And you start to blah, 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 shame yourself for playing below the line. Okay, that's like a double whammy. What you need right there is you need to reach out to somebody who understands what you're going through, an upline, a sideline, and just say, look, I've caught myself. I'm playing below the line and I'm aware of it. But success, whatever it looks like, is important to me. Can you help me run through some goals I can do briefly to get closer above the line? Now, let's just play a game. What are some things that you can do to move your vibration above the line? Who's got some ideas for me? What do they use? If you know that you're in a shitty mindset and you're doing something funky, what do you do to help push yourself above the line and to start getting in a better mood to get shit done? Listen to a motivational video. I love that. That's one of my favorites. That's why I was putting them up on the team page before I went to Bali and then it all went skew with. Music and makeup, listen to music. Music is a big one for me. A swim, Alexi, that's an awesome one, especially if it's in the ocean and I can feel like a mermaid. Listen to my favorite song really loud. Meditate. I love that. Music and affirmations is a big one for me too. Affirmations, I am powerful was something that I had to say for a very long time. And it got to such a stage where I think, I'm not sure if anybody was on that long ago, but I did this thing that I am powerful was my statement. And because I still didn't feel it, I went out and I got like hooker red nails. Because to me, red nails is the most powerful thing a woman can have. Like, you see a woman with red nails, you don't mess with her. Like, so it was my constant reminder to myself of, yeah, that's right, I'm powerful. I'm playing above the line. I got this. So think about all those things that you can do that you know moves you above the line, and then set yourself a DMO for the day. Doesn't have to be massive. Put on your favorite song if that's what you want to do. Go for a swim and then get back and sit down and go, cool, today I'm feeling like shit. Yesterday was crappy. I'm moving forward. What can I achieve today to make sure that I'm above the line? And it could be reach out to 5 people. It could be talk to one person on my chicken list. So the chicken list is someone that you would love to talk to, but you're scared to. You know, you're scared to, oh my God, what will they think of me? That person, that next level person. Okay, so you could do that because you know that that's really going to make you play above the line. That's really getting you closer to the goals. But it's that awareness and that perspective and that reflection of, okay, what am I doing to myself right now? Am I self-sabotaging? Yeah, because we've done that. Remember, we've removed ourselves from our identity and our observer. The identity is the person we're born with, and they're going to continue to evolve and change and everything. The observer is the one just watching how you behave. And it is so powerful because if you're observing the identity, then you can find the parts of you that aren't working and you can change them. For me, one of my biggest things used to be that I was shy. Yeah, I wasn't one of those people. I'm not a people person. That was my identity that I used to tell myself. But I realized that when I was looking at that, that was me shaming myself because I realized that I was a quieter personality. So I thought, well, let's just play below the line. It was justifying really too, wasn't it? I'm one of those quiet people. I won't be successful, blah, 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 all that whiny crap. But I had to go, cool, well, if I want to be successful and play above the line, that identity needs to change. I need to start making decisions that are going to break that shit apart. I need to start getting on events, start sharing my story, even though it scared the hell out of me. I needed to start turning up to the event regularly, even though I hated schedules, because I knew that that would pump up my behavior. I'd definitely move above the line. So I think it's really important, guys, if you want success, understand that success isn't about fitting in unless you're in our circle. And then by all means, because we're all going to kick ass towards success, but it will definitely come with its challenges. And the challenges mean you're on the right track. Yeah. Setting the intention and getting really clear of what does that success look like. Because like I said, it can mean more family time. And it could give you half an hour a day. Is that really what you want? Is that success to you? Or do you want 8 extra hours a day with your family? Because if you do, write it down. Yeah, get really specific because it makes it easier for the universe to pick up on. Then we talked about our money beliefs, our dirty money stories. How do you feel around money at the moment? Let's do our money exercise, touch base next Tuesday and see if we've got any movement on that front. And then also trying to move forward when we feel those little flickbacks, because remember, the energy always comes before the situation. One of the biggest things that I think have noticed in people just through doing coaching is that so many think they will be successful when, or they'll be happy when. Yeah, so I'll be successful when I move to a bigger house and I have my own office. I'll be successful when I leave my partner because he's so negative. I'll be successful when I have more time. Yeah, it's always like they put a condition on their success. And that is the biggest way of self-sabotage too. The same kind of people and the same category is I'll be happy when. I'll be happy you know, when I've got a little bit more money in the bank. I'll be happy when I don't have to go to this job I hate. Whatever it is, be happy and be successful right now, because that's the only thing. You're changing the energy before you change the situation. In the first stance, where you're going to be successful when or happy when, you're trying to change the situation first. And the situation occurs because of the energy level you're in. So if you don't change that energy level, the situation will never change. And that's one of my biggest things is, if you want to change, change. If you want change in your life, you need to change the way you behave. If you want change in your circumstance, you need to change the way you behave. It's very, very unlikely that life is just going to all of a sudden take a next level up with you not doing anything about it. Most of the time it'll take a level down because your energy could have dropped and they're going, okay, cool, yep, we'll match you. Yeah, but the higher you vibrate up, do your shit, get over it, power through all these meditations, the affirmations, all the crazy stuff that people think you're nuts about, it will move your generation higher. It will move your vibration higher. And that's the cool part about success. Isn't about fitting in. Yeah. One of my biggest things when I first started, I used to be embarrassed. This is how ridiculous it is, right? When I was in my dance studio, so Juice Plus wasn't even on my radar, but this is to let you know the circle of people that I used to be in. I was embarrassed because I screenshotted a beautiful spiritual quote that I loved. I absolutely loved. And I remember giving my phone at dancing over, and they were trying to flick through photos to find the one that we'd taken off the dance class. And one of the girls goes, oh, what are you screenshotting dumb quotes for? And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I've got a screenshot of a quote in my phone. And I remember feeling like, I don't want to be judged. How horrible. Like, what are they? They're going to think now I'm some spiritual hippie. Like, oh my God. And which is crazy because you guys look at me now, I'm like the most open, out loud, proud hippie. But that used to be the way that I felt. I was so concerned. And I realized that's why I wasn't successful at that stage. That's why I was miserable and why I wasn't happy, because I was so frightened to stand out. But it wasn't until I just thought, this is what I am. This is what lights me up. This is what I want to do. You guys are miserable. You're angry. You're upset at everybody. You're bitching about everybody. I don't want to fit into you. And I made that really clear decision to step up and be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to shine anyway. And how many times do you think that same circle of friends gave me shit? They still do. They still do. I'm not friends with them anymore, but I still know that I am the butt of some jokes because I am successful and a hippie. Crazy, right? They still have miserable, unhappy lives, being broke every week, but I'm still a joke to them. Not really. I'm sure a lot of them really want my life, and that is why there's a little bit of anger there still. But you guys have to decide. Do you want to fit into them forever? Or do you want to be like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing and I'm going to stand out and I'm going to be authentic? Because I can tell you, as soon as I decided to be authentic and to run with what was important to me, life just went next level. Next level. As soon as I started embracing that, no, I am spiritually talented. I know things and see things that other people don't get. And that's not something I should be ashamed of. That's something that can help people. Same as you, Joe. So you're saying at the moment that you're nervous to be in right now. You are, can I just say, like, you are so much more advanced than me at my age. So much more advanced. Oh. So much more advanced. Because like we look, so when I'm talking about, I'd have been 26, possibly even 27. So where you're at right now, if you can own this shit and get out of it and be like, I'm going to stand in my power, you are 3, 4, 5 years ahead of me. So if you can imagine, by the time you're 30 with your own family, or, just starting whatever the hell you want to do, you can create a freaking empire. So, and that works on the flip side. If you're gearing up and you've already had a few decades in life, stop fucking around. Time goes so quickly. Before we know it, it's December. Like, if that wasn't it April, like that goes to show this is how fast stuff's happening. So make the decisions for yourself and stop allowing other people to make you feel bad, because they're probably only doing it because they're miserable as well. The biggest thing Linda ever said to me in this business, and I will always, always, always thank her for. She said, do not take advice from people if you wouldn't live their life. And it was like a boom slap in the face moment, because I'd been taking advice from people who were miserable for way too long. Way too long. Yeah, I'd been letting people muck with my idea of success because they didn't agree with it. And here they were in jobs that they hated, in relationships that they hated, with friends that they hated, and I was taking their advice. That's crazy shit. You will never meet a person who's more successful than you who will say, don't take a risk. Okay, success comes with risks. Success comes with standing out. It comes with failure. It comes with getting slapped in the face. It comes with rejection. But the coolest part about becoming an NMD for me, it wasn't the title. It wasn't even the $3,000 bonus, even though that was really nice. It was the fact that I had grown from a person who doesn't like people to a person who is in love with people. A person who just wanted to spend time around brilliant people every day. And that was the coolest thing for me, because my whole world had changed from being so scared to show people that I'd screenshotted a quote to being able to put my own quotes up with my own words, my own heartfelt, opinions, and not feel rocked about what anybody else thought. That transition was so much more powerful than the money in my bank. And that's why I get frustrated when people go, oh no, everybody's saying no to me. I can't find team. Fuck, neither could I. It's part of it. Embrace it. Learn to love the process, because the process is changing you. Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. Because the how-to is so easy. You guys can find the how-to at any stage in the files section, in the photo albums, in any of the trainings, all that kind of stuff. It's all this tiny little mindset stuff that will change the game for you, 100%. Okay, so I'm not sure if we've got any questions. Let me scroll down. Babies. Stacey, is that Stacey Cox? I know how old you are. I know how old your daughter is. Age is only a number, girls. Yeah, absolutely. I love it, guys. I love it. It's so important. And remember too that this is what we call about plugging into the fire, because, we talk about not being frightened to stand out. How many people after this phone call and being around people who are empowered feel like they're okay being themselves? They're okay to stand out right now. Yeah. You go to work tomorrow, it's probably going to half instantly. Okay. You walk downtown and it goes further down. Okay. Because humans are funny. We're funny little creatures. And the majority of them are low vibration level living. So, that's why you need to plug into trainings. You need to plug into the event, because it's pretty much like your recharger. It's like charging your phone or your laptop or something and expecting it to work. If you don't charge yourself full of positivity and optimism and people that are actually wanting to raise you up, you will die down in that slower vibration with the rest of the world. Yeah? Cool. Do we have any questions around any of that? I got to know none of the notes that I took. We went totally sideways, but do you feel like they got a little bit where you needed anyway? Did that help anybody? Yeah, don't become a hermit, Leanne. That was me. I love that. Stace, that's exactly right. I love that. Cool. Brain fart. That's showing your age, Stacey. You're an old woman. Yeah, no. The world is a great place, guys, and there's some amazing people. So it's important, if you find yourself backing away and thinking that this isn't working or all that kind of negative blame, shame, and justify stuff, it means that you haven't spent enough time being plugged in. All right, go and put on a training is my go-to. My go-to still now. I love that, Joyce, because that's mine too. Like, I will literally go onto YouTube and just be like, inspirational, and press enter and find something that comes up that I think, yeah, okay, cool, and just watch that. because I know that it will push me up into the next part. Yeah, I love that, Shirley. Leanne, make a goal right now to me that you are going to get to Melbourne. I don't care what happens, but get to Melbourne, because coming out of your cave is going to be so much easier. You've got until June next year. So 6 months, 7 months to start planning away and putting money aside to get yourself down there for conference, Melbourne conference next year, guys. For those of you who are still awake over in New Zealand, same goes. You guys are so bloody lucky, because this weekend is the 90-day game plan in Auckland. It is like the go-to for recharging. Like, it is like the boom, I'm full of energy and I am set now for another 3 months. Like, it's in a recharge overload. Okay, and it's coming up on the weekend. Okay, so game plan in Auckland is this Saturday, the 1st of December. Conference in Australia is the 14th, 15th of June. Yeah, and we're also looking into it. Can you please close the door there, darling? To get a big house where we can all stay, have some dance parties and some hanging out beforehand. Ooh, thank you. Cool. Any other questions around that, guys? No, we're all set? Yeah, cool. Can we all keep each other accountable for the visualization and the meditations? If you find any good ones. Now, not all of us are in the team workers thread, because some people on this call go way further than me and my front line. So maybe we'll do it in the Team Love page. So if you find a good meditation, or if you're visualizing something that you find really powerful, let's keep each other inspired and motivated to keep it running by keeping some posts up there in the Team Love page about it. I know, Joe and Josie, you guys are going to be our Melbourne gals. We'll be like booking you out for all the places to be. Party at Joe's, absolutely. Overrun with Team Love. Cool. All right.
Can I speak for a second? Sorry, Kat. Are you in Melbourne, Joanne? Is Joanne in Melbourne?
I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
Ah. I'm just like trying to make friends